This is the 301st Taiku in the Babylonian Talmud according to everyone. According to everyone. What I mean by that is that there is a bit of a discrepancy that came to my attention in the recording of the Taikus from on the part of, it seems like, on the author of the book, not myself, although, well, never mind that. Basically, in Tractate Temurah, page 11b, there are only, in fact, 2 Taikus. But in the book, Taiku, it says that there are 3 Taikus. The next few Taikus appear in that same tractate, Temurah, on 22b. But rather than having 3 Taikus, he lists 2. So he lists 3 where there's only 2, and he lists 2 where there are actually, in fact, 3. So, going with my theme, like they say, in the Gemara, they say he goes according to his reasoning, his standard line of reasoning, Lashitaso. So, since numbers are a really big part of my process, not just to count, not just to keep things in order, but it's a philosophy. Numbers are actually dwelt upon, meditated upon. And if something came out as the 17th of something, even though it's just a piece of information, it's different than that piece of information would come as the 18th of something, because 17 has its own connotation, its own character, its own personality. So does 18. So does every other number. So to honor that idea, I would employ the gematriatic idea of ta'ut. Ta'ut in Hebrew, ta'us, depending on your pronunciation, means a mistake. Ta'ut. It's spelled tet, ayin, vav, taf, like to'eh. To'eh is like when if I'm not mistaken, no pun intended, I think it's going off to the side. To'eh. It's like when a sheep goes out of line. Maybe. I might be wrong. But the word ta'ut has a numerical value of 485. And in fact, the word min hashamayim, or hakol mishamayim, either one. Min hashamayim means from heaven, means from God. Or hakol mishamayim is just stating everything is from heaven. Everything is from God. So if there's a mistake, there are no mistakes. It's a heavenly guided mistake. Because to err is human, as the old adage says, as the old adage goes. And if there's a mistake, I want to honor that mistake. I want to say that, you know what? The 302nd Taiku does not appear in reality, does not appear on Temurah 11b. But according to this book, it does. And I'm going to go with that. In addition to the reality. Because I think there's value to that. So, when I started this Taiku, I said, today is the 301st Taiku, because if you look at the Taiku, that's 10 lines up, I believe, in Temurah, from the Vilna Shas. 10 lines from the bottom. There's one Taiku that's 14 lines from the bottom, there's one Taiku that's 10 lines from the bottom. If you look at the second one, that is the 301st. But according to the book, the 302nd Taiku appears in Temurah 11b when it doesn't. So I'm actually going to make this one actually the 30. It would have to be this one. This is the 302nd, because the 302nd, this could only be this one. I mean, you could say it's the one before it, but that, like, why? This is the 302nd Taiku. It's both the 301st and the 302nd according to the book. But in reality, it's only the 301st. and tomorrow will be the 302nd. We still be this one according to the book, and it will be on 22b according in reality. But because I'm counting this one twice, there's going to be a deficit, right? It's like accounting. It's like there's a deficit. So how is it going to be reconciled? It'll be reconciled by doing, if this Taiku was two Taikus counted as one, then the remedy for that will be one Taiku counted as two. One Taiku will be two different Taikus. This is one Taiku that will be two different countings. This will be one counting that will be two different Taikus. And that will happen on the following day. But what's really, really interesting is that this is all happening on Rosh Chodesh Iyar. And what's really interesting about Rosh Chodesh Iyar is that it's the most, according to Ariel Cohen Olorbo, it's the most messianic month. Because it's the month that every single day of this month is counted. It's all about counting the Omer. It's like not even a... It's not even what's it called? Mashiach is all about counting, let's put it that way. So this is like, it's almost like a reality, it's like a life reality joke, but it's not even funny, but it's hilarious. But it's not, you know what I'm saying? It's hilarious, but it's like so serious that it's funny. That this accounting issue came on Rosh Chodesh Iyar when the month of Iyar is only counting. See, the Omer starts on the 16th of Nisan, so you have a portion of Nisan, you have, let's say, half the month of Nisan that you count, but not the whole month. And Sivan, you have less than that. You have less than a quarter month, about a quarter month, 6 days of Sivan. No, you have 5 days. So Nisan and Sivan are both not full month, but Iyar is the month that every single day, starting from Rosh Chodesh until the end, is counting. And I find it just really fascinating. This mistake was made to be corrected in a time when we're like only counting. It's just fascinating, you know? So I'm going to do, as a stylistic choice, I could have done 301 and 302 today, but I want to do it as if it's going one per day. So we'll go one per day. Tomorrow will be the same one. Will be 302 according to the book. And then 303 according to the book will have two Taikus that appear on 22b. And then by the time we get to 304, which is Gematria Baboker, in the morning, in the morning, it'll be all over in the morning. In the morning, it'll be all over in the morning. Baboker is Gematria 304. By the time we get to 304, it's going to be all reconciled. And then we'll be, God willing, Haba Aleinu L'Tovah, on the third day of Iyar. It'll be all reconciled. And with no further ado, the 301st Taiku in the Babylonian Talmud, a Taiku is an unanswered question for which we need to wait for the Messiah to come, Elijah the prophet, Messiah to come, Elijah the prophet and the Messiah. But the tradition is that Elijah the prophet answers it. I don't know why. Who knows? Maybe that time we'll get a choice. Maybe those who want to hear it from Eliyahu can go to Eliyahu, and those who want to hear it from the Messiah can go to the Messiah. The Messiah will answer it. Who would you pick? I think many people might pick Elijah, to be honest with you. As strange as that sounds. We'll hear from Elijah the prophet. We don't need to hear from the Mashiach. But some people would want to hear from the Mashiach himself. Okay. Temurah 11b. Boy Rabba, Ikdish Ever Ledom of Mau. The Sechois Le Kedushas Aguf. Mi Omar Kevan Nachasto Le Kedushas Domim. Nachasole Nami Kedushas Aguf. Umidiag Gshay Lechadiver. Agdeshe Lechuloi Dilma Chad Migo Amar Tre Migo Ilomar. Rava raises another dilemma. Not an Mbach and a duty dilemma, but just a regular dilemma. Okay? Rava raises a dilemma according to Rabbi Yossi. If one consecrated a limb with the intention of selling it and purchasing an offering with its payment, what is the halacha as to whether the entire animal is imbued with inherent sanctity? Does one say that since it is imbued with sanctity that inherits its value, it is likewise imbued with inherent sanctity? And then furthermore, from the fact that he consecrated one limb, he has consecrated the entire animal? Or perhaps one says a claim using the logic that begins with since only once, but does not say two claims together using the logic that begins with since, meaning one cannot make both of the suggested expansions simultaneously. The Gemara suggests resolve the dilemma by citing Rava's own statement. As didn't Rava say, if one consecrated a male ram for its value, since the ram is fit for sacrifice, it is automatically consecrated with inherent sanctity? The same reasoning should apply here. Although the limb was consecrated for its value, since the animal is fit for sacrifice, once the entire animal is consecrated for its value, it should automatically assume inherent sanctity. Hasam de akdeshe lechulei, hach de akdeshe chadei vermai Taiku. The Gemara responds that this is not a proof. There, where he initially consecrated all of it, the whole animal assumes inherent sanctity. Here, Rava is referring to a case where he consecrated only one limb at the outset, and one must invoke two separate expansions to apply inherent sanctity to the whole animal. The question stands, what's the halacha? The Gemara concludes, the dilemma shall stand unresolved until the coming of the Messiah, the son of David and the son of Joseph. Maranatha.